Alright, it's part 2. So, I had a friend, Cancerian, Dyke, and she would have these clothing swaps because she got to know, they formed a collective of queer dykes, chubby, fat, and she was my friend, so she invited me. They would have regular clothing swaps. Because they were of a larger size, it wasn't easy for them to find, clothing. But they were creative, they were very crafty. So they could whip things up. So they would swap and then, either wear as or they would alter and make it into something. And then we will wear it out because we were always out. The queer community for me was very much 95% out there socializing, on stage, on the radio, at the club, at the party, barbecue on the island, picnic, always topless, at least half the time topless. And we have a sense of freedom and safety and security. I think that's what, and I love that. I embrace that. The thing is, though, we got to be realistic. We got to be realistic because right there in the queer village, gay men, women, and trans are getting beat up, are getting battered, bashed, and it's not safe. And you can't force everyone to be that. But there it was in Toronto. Anyway, so my friends, it's easy to form collectives. That's always an FAGS. That's what we called ourselves, fags and dykes. It wasn't anything derogatory, right? It was like they say, claiming the words, claiming the name. You call me, it's like being called the N-word and then taking it back and turning it into a nigga, N-I-G-G-A, and making it okay, which is, it's kind of a bit to me of a mind, P-H-U-K, but anyway. They were having clothing swaps. She told me, she invited me, only to then inform me, because they talk and they like to say they know me, right? So they of course, yeah, Adela, I invited Adela, and oh, Adela. So they obviously, people have a problem with me. Oh well. So there's always some silly itch who has some issues with me because I probably said something truthful about the ish, and because I had this thing that I didn't know I had. I think they call it is it on a bun? No, she doesn't have a butt, so it can be an Asperger, can it? So literally, like, totally just unaware of those little nuances, right, that other people grasp easily. I'm like so out of it in my own little world. But they pull me out. They invite me to these things. And while I'm here, I'm seeing, what the heck am I supposed to do and say? What they want to do and say, but they don't dare do and say. They resent me. Anyway, so here's my friend telling me, oh, I'm sorry, but it's only for big girls. It's only for big girls. And some of the girls said that because you're not a big girl, they don't want you there because you're going to make them feel uncomfortable. These lesbians and these feminists, they're just so full of doo-doo. The big girls, the fat girls don't want me at the clothing swap. Because God forbid something may fit me. I couldn't relate. So I guess I didn't belong. And then there's another time. This time. Okay, so the Cancerian invite, because Cancerians always want to involve and include me. Unless if they're going to be talking shit about me, which can happen too. Because them can be too fierce. Shit. And so, there was the other one. She was an Aries. March. The March Aries, they're weak. They're weak. Because she invited me to a party. Some kind of outdoor thing, barbecue type thing. One thing, Dykes, we had really great, we'd have outdoor parties, because we were living in the lofts. Before lofts were schmancy, lofts were like raw, the factory, linseed oil factory converted into high-priced condos, honey, in the city of Toronto. But back then, it was rough and raw, the wood floors and the noise, and my one girlfriend, she's DJ, she's playing music, and she's making her leather sex toys and outfits and shit, and I'm singing on the mic while she's spinning the records. She buy all these new records, spend so much money on the white labels. They saved it for them. Yeah, they saved it for you because you're spending all that money. Anyway, so I guess I'm part of a scene. And those people who want to be my friends, they want to be part of that scene. So they don't really like me. They just kind of want to be around me, to soak that up and to take ideas, steal ideas, and say, oh my God, I've never heard of that before. A dominate what? A dominate? Oh, well, you know what? I think I want to do a play. My next play, I want it to be about. I'm like, what did you just find? You just telling me that you've only now heard of domination and you want to write a play about it. Okay, black lesbian. So anyway, another big one, right? No offense to big girls, okay? No problem with big girls, okay? But except the problem they have with me. So, but in this case, it was a Leo, my ex, who is now a he. This is ridiculous. These people don't like themselves, right? So I don't expect them to like me. Because I'll be like, you're contradicting yourself. Honestly, like, you got all these slashes on your chest. I can't even look at your body. You got all these slashes all over your chest. Oh my gosh, what you try to unalive yourself? What? Cutting. Oh, good heavens. Then they don't want me to talk about things, so they blacklist and blackball me. Am I going to be X'd on X? Oy vey, smear. So the Leo, who is mixed race, and today a trans man, well, tells the Aries, March Aries week, who invites me to this shindig, she tells her to disinvite. Like, they even use the word disinvite. Disinvite? Really? Disinvite? Isn't it uninvite? But whatever. I listen, I'm not English major, okay? English not my mama line. English is not my mother's tongue. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, so once again, I'm being invited. People inviting me, and then there comes along someone who doesn't want me there. Hey, what the hell do they think? This is not novel. I'm accustomed to this. It's been in my family this way. In fact, I removed myself. I started to go. I first arrived in Canada. I started to go in North York, where we lived. That's a Jewish section, yeah. And I literally lived in Jewland. Jewish, yeah. Went to school with the Jewish children, okay. And just to feel you don't really fit. You never really fit in. So you become aware that you don't belong, that you're different. And you must also learn that that's okay. And see rejection as God's protection. But you all are having reckless sex, for instance. I don't have to name you, you know who you are. Reckless sex you're having. No protection. And what are you doing in that community? You are spreading. You are super spreaders. Which is why you are pushing big harma, with a little p, like that little man Mr. Falsely. Anyway, let me stop. I'm Domina Della Pine, Mistress Sasha Storm. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Yeah, so if you are listening, you happen to be, you hear me say this, that, or the other, you feel it's about you, it may very well be. I'm naming no names, but I'm telling it as it happened. And that you had some issues with me being present because you didn't want me to read you. I always read because that's what I'm here to do as a child of God. Thank you and good night.